Hey everybody, so today we're going to be doing the repair on the Briggs and Stratton 6.5 horsepower on the Craftsman tiller I have. We're going to break open the box of goodies I did in a previous video. We're going to be repairing it, get it back up and running. So please stick around, check out the video, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Alright, so this is what we're going to be working on. I got the box of Briggs and Stratton parts that I just resealed after I did the video on that. It's been, I think I've had the box for about a month. Maybe a little longer than a month, it's been a month and a half at the most. So I did get to use this the other day because I had to bury my cat. She escaped out of the house, and she got sideswiped by a car, according to the vet. She managed to jump the 6 foot brick fence that I have in the backyard, and I found my dog, because my pit bull, he barks a lot when there's something in the yard. She grew up around him, so he was pushing her over because she was laying on her back when I got out there, and he was nudging her, trying to get her to move, and he kept barking at her, so I kind of went outside to see what was going on. She got sideswiped by a car, according to the emergency vet, and she had air in her lungs. She was having a hard time breathing, and they told me there was two options. There was the option of spending upwards of $3 grand to all the recovery in the hospital, and them trying to get the air out of her lungs and everything else, or to put her down, which was going to be like $140. She was barely 2 years old. I do still have her children. 2 of her children I gave away, and I have the other 3 children. If I'm doing videos out here and you see an orange cat running around the yard, Tot just refuses to come back inside. I guess she likes it out here, so I just put food outside for her to eat. She lives in the yard though, so I don't think we're gonna have any issues with her. But I opted to put her down because the vet also told me that it could be upwards of $3 grand and she could still die. I got to use the tiller one more time, and then the bolts finally gave on this filter housing, and dirt started getting into the carburetor when it fell. It's not really connected anymore, so we're going to take it out. We're going to repair it. I grabbed the 1/4 inch Milwaukee Stubby, which is 2552-20, and I also grabbed my 1/4 inch fuel ratchet, which is 2556-20. So we're going to be using those. I grabbed this little gear wrench kit. You guys probably seen me using this exact kit on this motor before. Grabbed a can of cheap Walmart SuperTech brake clean, non-chlorinated, and the parts. So let's get started. Alright. I also never put the shroud back on. That's why there's bolts right here. This one, there's one on the other side. So let's get the filter out, which I just put a brand new filter in this. But we are going to be replacing all of this. So I have this top cover, the bottom piece, a new nut. And when I got the Carb kit, it came with a new filter. Carb kit came with the bottom, the filter, the top, and everything else, so not gonna have to worry about that. I think we're going to need this one right here. Let's see. These are, I think, Torx 25s. No. Torx 20. Okay, they're Torx 20s, which this one is all screwed up, but hopefully it will work. It also came with this bracket too. I'm going to keep all these parts if they're not broken, and just use them as spares and just put the brand new parts on it for now. I need to go grab a pair of pliers. I knew I was forgetting something. I just grabbed my Tecton pair of duckbills. If I remember correctly, it's a 10. That's an 8. I need to go grab a battery. I just grabbed a 2.0 Milwaukee battery. Compact torpedo. Really? Saying the tool's too hot. This one's working, so we'll use this one. The other bolt's missing. It's probably somewhere in the ground or tilled under all that dirt, probably. Okay. Move these tools. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm not going to be like all in a rush or anything like that. get the pick. This is a 90-degree Tecton pick that JK Canvas sent me. I'll put a link up here for his channel. Okay. Fuel line is off. That's a 10. This guy right here. There's 2 more on this side. Right here. Fuel tank has fuel in it. I just turned the knob off. Okay. Alright. So these might be 10s as well. It seems a little sloppy though. Let's see if it's 3/8. Seems more like a 3/8. Oh yeah, a lot less slop. This little spacer block. There's the other bolt. Okay, here's the carburetor and the fuel bowl. We'll probably take this apart in a different video. Try to clean it up. Still has a gasket on it. Gasket looks like a gasket blew out on the side. Alright. I'm going to unplug the spark plug, so you know, it's only a pull start, but just to be safe. I have my Milwaukee M12 right angle die grinder. It is part number 2485-20. We're going to just clean that surface up a little bit. And it's got a, it's a 2-inch wire wheel on it. Okay. All right. Filter, all the hardware, bottom piece, top cover, carburetor. It even came with a new hose. Which looks like it's this hose right here. Okay. Also looks like it came with the choke adjustment. Okay. Did it come with the blade though is the question. Are we gonna have to reuse that? There's a new top post for the filter. Got some gaskets, the knob for the filter, throttle plates right here. I'll bring you back when I get this throttle plate back in. Alright, so we're back. So, all you got to do to get the throttle plate in is you slide this open, kind of lock it into one of the spring detents right here, and then you just slide it in, and then make sure it rotates properly, and that's it. This one also has a plastic grommet in here, where the old one didn't have that anymore. So, grab the gasket, just that guy right there. You use the new bolts for the carb. which are these two guys right here. They have Loctite on them already, a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put this right here, the bolts right next to it. We're going to try to clean this back housing. And you just take the new bolts, compare them to the old bolts. The sleeves look about the same. They have Torx heads. They also have sockets, actual hex heads. So they're the same. So we're just going to keep these in the pile of just in case. It does not look like it came with this spacer backing at all. See if we can grab this and pop this out. Yep, okay, he's got that out. So, grab the brake clean. Let's see if we can clean this off a little bit. I'm gonna grab a paper towel. Looks like this piece is kind of broken a little bit. There's nothing I can do about that. I don't have another one. I do not have another one of these gaskets either, but this one's not broken in any way, other than this corner is a little frayed. We're just gonna go with it. Grab the carburetor. Gasket for the carburetor. Two bolts. Okay. Oops. Okay. Loosen that a little bit. Go grab another ratchet. Grabbed a gear wrench, long-handled flex head ratchet. This is the style where you put the little 1/4-inch adapter through. So where'd you go? It's probably gonna be a quite long video, guys. Sorry about that. No idea where that extension just went, just vanished, I guess. Alright. Pretty tight now. Hook the cable back up. Probably would have been easier if I would have done this before I put the carb on. There. That's done. All right. This hose goes in here. Probably could do that last. Okay. It does not look like I got any of these. Which means one's missing. That sucks. Let me check this actually. Oh, no, it does. There's a couple in here. Alright. So we did get 2 more of those bolts. right here. I ended up with a bunch of these black bolts. I got like 4 of them, I think. There's 2 here, and there was 2 in the box, so I ended up with 2 more than I needed, so. This doesn't even look like it goes here, to be honest. It's not the same shape. What's the shape of this? So there's 2 dowel pins on the bottom of this breather housing for the air housing. There's 2 here and there's 1 here, and it holds the gasket in. Okay. That was, I think, 8mm. Let's see. Okay, so a 5/16 actually fits these bolts for the air breather better. And these don't need to be like super tight. Don't like He-Man it. Just snug them up. Okay. Looks like there's a section for a bolt right here that's missing. Styled this, probably this style. And actually bolts there. So I'm gonna have to find another bolt just like that, and we'll just put it back there for the cover, which, you know, it's just to hold the cover on. It's not a big deal. I'd rather have the filter housing nice and stiff and not fall off. So these 2 black bolts, which I have 4 of, are for okay, so this little piece of foam goes on top of the bolt thread for the cap nut that holds the filter cover on. And these 2 self-tap style screws go into here. So we put it right here. Let's see if you guys are, get you closer. And these are T15s. Just snug them up. They don't need to be that tight. Okay. I'm gonna put the new filter on. It also has a pre-filter. And I'll clean up this old one because it didn't have a pre-filter on it, so we'll clean it up. That one was not a Briggs and it is a Briggs and Stratton, but it wasn't the correct filter. This one already had the hole in it. This one you can tell that I had to cut the hole in it. So maybe it's too, no, there it goes. Okay. Okay. Then we got the new housing, the new cap nut. It's not going down for some reason. Come on. Well, it's not going down. Let me try something real quick. Let me go use the compressor. I'm gonna blow this out. Just curious. That one looks like it sits better. Wow, it does sit better. That's interesting. Wow. We'll have to mess with that. It's interesting. It doesn't sit. This one doesn't sit right. Move all this stuff out the way. Alright, we gotta grab the fuel tank. Gotta put the spark plug back on. This also has, let me take you off the tripod. Which you probably already saw it, but this carburetor really has a brass nipple instead of this little plastic nipple. So might have been just an update or upgrade that they had done to it over the years or something. That's reattached. We're going to shove this breather hose, comes out of the head, back into the filter housing, which is kind of like a primitive PCV valve, positive crank ventilation valve. Okay. Alright, I'm going to grab the 4 bolts to put the gas tank back on, and we'll put the cover on later. I'm not worried about the cover, it's been off for months. Which is why they're sleeved, because it's meant to go through a cover. Oops, I put those on kind of too soon. Because they also go through the brackets in on the gas tank. I'll show you real quick. This side, there's bracket holes on each side. Ah, that's why. Yeah, they're on that side too. And then we'll open the fuel valve and see if we can get it to drip some fuel into the carburetor and see if we can get it started. These are 10 millimeters. I have the setting on the impact is setting 1. I don't know if you can see it. You might have to just take my word. Okay, that's done. Okay. Okay. Turn the fuel valve. I'm gonna move all of this stuff so it's not in the way. Alright. Move this back a little for you guys. Alright. Smell the gas. wanting to start. But I'm gonna turn the camera off for right now. I'll bring you back. I'll get it primed some more, and as soon as it starts, I'll bring you guys back. All right, everybody. So I got it running. I just took the filter housing off, the filter out, and I sprayed down in this filter housing to run it through the the carburetor. I just ran a tiny spray of starter fluid, like one quick like millisecond burst, pulled it, one more, and then I moved the throttle up about ½ an inch or so, pulled it a couple more times, and it fired right over. It stuttered a little bit, and then when the starting fluid was gone, it smelled like the gasoline took over and it started running off gas. There is one problem. The old carburetor would run at full choke. It would idle at full choke. This one does not run at full choke. You literally have to move it one notch. So might need to adjust the idler spring. Problem is it's right under here, and it's not very easy to get to. So I'll crank it over. I'll let you guys hear it. It does run. And if you guys know why it's not idling, and I might be wrong, but it's an overhead valve system. It's a 6.5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton. It might be the idler screw. I don't know. There is one on here. I grabbed the other carb. The idler screw is right here, but when it sits on the housing, so it literally sits right here, but it's like tucked under, so it's basically like right here, way back. So let's pull it. It's gonna make me look bad, watch. It's not gonna start now. Really? Really? Alright. Well, start it the other way. It's just gonna be one of those days, I guess. Coming out the pipe. That's because of the carburetor and starting fluid. throttle linkage bounce. There is throttle linkage bounce. So I'll turn it back up and then you'll see it. There's just a tiny amount of throttle linkage bounce. It's doing a lot better than the old carburetor. The old carburetor, the throttle linkage would literally do this the whole time, and you can hear it. The motor would be going while it's running. So try to get it to start again. So I brought you guys in here. It's a little easier to hear. I'm gonna let it run a little while. Hopefully it will fill the fuel bowl, and hopefully it will start the next time I need it. So let's go back out there and look real quick. But you can see it will not idle. It will not idle on full choke when it should. But so I'm gonna conclude this video, and I'm gonna let it run for 20-30 minutes. Hopefully the fuel bowl will fill. Maybe that's why it's just not starting without starting fluid. It could be that the fuel bowl's not filling all the way, or not filling enough, which there ain't much in my soda. Grab another soda. Grab Dr. Pepper. And yeah, I'm being asked a lot. These Dr. Pepper and cream sodas are really good. They are very good. There you go. And this is the fuel can for the tiller. I hope you guys enjoyed the small engine rebuild. Wasn't a huge rebuild. I wasn't rebuilding the whole motor. The motor works perfectly fine. Majority of that red paint, for whatever reason, it's no longer on the exhaust housing or the exhaust pipe. The paint was rated for 2000 degrees. It was basically header paint, but for some reason it just, even after baking it in the oven and making sure it was cured and putting it through a run cycle, it's peeling off. So it is what it is, I guess. But just put a new carburetor on it. I might do a video, take this one apart, and looks like this one might have been a little sticky. But might do a video and clean all these parts up. I don't know. It might need to adjustment on that idle screw. But I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to check it out. You know, hey, Nate from Go Karts Con Fishing, I'll put a link up here for him as well. If you know what might be the problem, bro, let me know. I work on big motors. I'm not, you know, this is a 4-cycle. I don't normally work on them. I know how to repair them if need be, but you know, Nate, you might know more about these Briggs and Strattons than I do, because you love Briggs and Strattons. So if you know why it's not idling, you know, let me know. I'm thinking the idle screw needs to be either loosened or tightened. You know, it was a factory brand new carburetor. You know, it could have been sitting on one of their shelves for 15 or more years, because this tiller's well over almost 35 years old, I believe. It's back in the, that's a little older than that. I think this was mid 70s, early 80s. But appreciate you guys watching. I know this is a long video. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.